At the time of making this video in October 2023, there are only 2 living Knight's Cross holders, men who were awarded Germany's most prestigious decoration for gallantry and meritorious service during World War II. It demonstrates once again how long ago World War II actually was, and how the number of veterans from all nations has rapidly dwindled up to the present day. In the United States, for example, of just over 16 million who served in the war, about 120,000 remain alive today. In Germany, there are around 100,000 World War II veterans still alive in 2023. Those still alive are, of course, some of the youngest men who served in the war, but even an 18-year-old in 1945 would be at least 96 years old today. The Knight's Cross was created in 1939 based on a much earlier Prussian and then Imperial German decoration dating from 1813, the Ironcross. From the Napoleonic Wars through the Franco-Prussian War and World War I, the Ironcross had 3 grades, from the second-class medal to the first-class badge, through to the highest grade of Grand Cross. Wishing to continue this German military tradition, Hitler, himself a holder of the World War I Ironcross first and second class, ordered the decoration's reactivation, with the ribbon colour changed and the addition of the swastika in place of previous royal ciphers. The Nazis also enlarged the number of grades of the award from 3 in World War I, that is the Iron Cross second and first class and the Grand Cross, to 8 in World War II. They retained the Iron Cross second and first class, and then the next highest grade was the Knight's Cross, a new medal, worn around the neck. Due to the numbers of men who would be awarded this medal, the grades were expanded based on the standard Knight's Cross, with special devices added to indicate further awards of the medal. These were the Knight's Cross with oak leaves, indicating 2 awards, with oak leaves and swords for 3 Knight's Crosses, with oak leaves, swords and diamonds for 4, and finally golden oak leaves, swords and diamonds for a staggering 5 awards of the Knight's Cross. Also in 1939, Hitler authorized the recreation of the Grand Cross, basically a larger version of the Knight's Cross medal, but this was only awarded once in 1940 to Reichsmarschall Hermann Göring. In total, the Knight's Cross was awarded 7,313 times between 1940 and 1945. As I mentioned, only 2 Knight's Cross holders are still living in 2023, one from the German Army and one from the German Air Force, the Luftwaffe. The youngest is 100-year-old Heinz Rafoth. In 1945, Rafoth was a company commander in the 48th Grenadier Regiment, part of the 12th Volksgrenadier Division. The 12th Volksgrenadier Division had fought in the Ardennes Offensive and in the Battle of the Hürtgen Forest, before being one of the German units that became trapped in the Ruhr Pocket in spring 1945. As the pocket was ground away by the Allies, Lieutenant or Second Lieutenant Rafoth led the 2nd Company of the 48th Grenadiers in intense urban combat. On the 3rd of March 1945, Rafoth was ordered to cover the breakout of the remnants of his regiment's 1st Battalion at the entrance to the village of Blesum. To cover the withdrawal, Rafoth had only 20 men, formed from stragglers and regimental supply personnel armed with infantry weapons. He observed 2 U.S. rifle companies supported by 2 tanks moving along a road towards the Erft River, where there were 2 intact railway bridges. The German line was extremely porous in this sector, and of course it would have been relatively easy for the Americans to break through such weak defences. Rafoth decided to disengage from the defensive fight at Blesum and instead launch a counterattack by moving through US-held territory to the village of Libla. From Libla, Lieutenant Rafoth and his 20-man Kampfgruppe, or assault group, attacked the US spearheads that had reached the undamaged railway bridges northeast of the village, that if captured would have allowed the Americans to cross the river without any problems and advance rapidly on the city of Cologne. Incredibly, Rafoth's little scratch force managed to hold the bridges for 2 hours against a much larger US force until help arrived in the shape of the remnants of the 1st Battalion, 48th Grenadier Regiment. The Germans prevented the Americans from crossing over the railway bridges, and indeed were able to withdraw across them themselves and set up defences on the east bank of the river, destroying the bridges as they went, slowing the US advance on the city of Cologne. Rafoth was evacuated over the river, and his corps commander immediately recommended that he receive the Knight's Cross. On the 20th of April 1945, Hitler's last birthday, Rafoth was presented with the Knight's Cross. He already held a host of other combat decorations, including the Ironcross first and second class and the wound badge in silver for 3 or more wounds, awarded to him in February 1944. After World War II, Rafoth joined the new West German army, the Bundeswehr, serving from 1956 until 1982, reaching the rank of colonel or Oberst on the general staff. He also gained a PhD in agriculture. He turned 100 years old in January 2023 and is the last living ground combat veteran holder of the Knight's Cross from World War II. The other living Knight's Cross holder in 2023 is former Luftwaffe fighter pilot and very high-scoring ace Hugo Brock, who was the subject of one of my videos some time ago. Born in 1922, Brock became a fighter pilot in 1943, flying a total of 324 missions before war's end, all of them on the Eastern Front against the Soviets. He claimed his first aerial victory as a corporal pilot on the 7th of March 1943, and became an official ace with 5 credited victories on the 16th of July. He would eventually rack up an amazing total of 81 aerial kills. Among his decorations was the front flying clasp in bronze, silver and gold, and the Ironcross first and second class. In 1944 he also received the German Cross in gold, a sort of intermediate award between the Ironcross first class and the Knight's Cross. He was awarded the Knight's Cross on the 12th of March 1945, and like Rafoth ended the war as a lieutenant or second lieutenant. After the war, Brock worked for Agfa, the digital imaging company, and at the age of 95 achieved one of his ambitions when he flew in a Spitfire, taking to the skies over Kent in England. Hugo Brock is the last Luftwaffe Knight's Cross ace alive today at the age of 101. Do check out my video about him, which covers his life story in a bit more detail. Link in the end screen. Many thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share, and also visit my audiobook channel, War Stories with Mark Felton. You can also help to support both of my channels at PayPal and Patreon, details in the description box below.